let's talk about building your first website, specifically your first website as a social media manager. We know how important it is to have a website. It's so important to have a landing page, at least, where people can come and learn a little bit more about you and about what you do. Right now, maybe your social media is acting as that website. Maybe that's a place where you're sending everyone. And that's all right for now, but I really do encourage you starting to build a website because it does look more professional and helps to give your dream clients a little bit more information about you, what you can do, and it can even help you upsell some of your services. But I know building a website can seem extremely overwhelming. It was something that was very overwhelming for me. I DIY'd most of my first websites, and they are a lot of work. I was a big bottleneck in that because I saw all these amazing templates and resources and downloads and things that I could do to make this website even better, that I stopped myself from starting it because I got overwhelmed with how big of a project it would be, when in reality, I could have just chosen a simple template and had it up in an hour. Ideally, I want you to be able to have your website up in an hour if you're using the right platform and template and you know what information you're already going to be putting in there. So use this video as a framework to help you make sure you have all the essentials on your website and that you know what needs to be on there before it launches. Absolutely, in the future, you can add new designs, you can make it more interactive. You could work with a web designer, a UX designer, a web developer, SEO specialist, blog specialist. You can really specialize your website and make it even more amazing in the future. But the purpose of this is to help you get something up right away so that you can continue building your business. As it grows, I absolutely recommend working with professionals to make your website more easily accessible for your dream clients, but also to make it something that maybe flows better for them, or maybe you have a copywriter come in and help you make sure that that copy is really specific to who they are. But this is just your starting place. Yes, it could work for you as long as you need it to, but as always, you can update it, you can change it. Nothing is concrete and set in stone, but let's follow along and figure out exactly what you need on that website to launch it. First and foremost, step number one is having the essentials on your website. So these are the no ifs, ands, or buts about what you need. This has to be on your website before you launch it. First things first, a home page or section. You could do a one-page website, and that's what I'll refer to when I say section versus page. So that is your home page, your about page or section, your contact page or section, and your services page or section. All four of these are essential, and I really think you should have them on your website before publishing it. The home section is going to be what really draws your dream client in from that first impression. That is the first thing they see. It's the hero image at the top of the page. It's what draws them in, really. So what do you need in this home section? The home section should really tell your dream clients who you are and what you do. What services you offer, for example, who your dream client is. They should know in 1 or 2 seconds just from opening up your homepage exactly what you do and who you are. But I want to give you a recommendation here. Make it work for that dream client. So to make this even better, instead of saying like, hey, I'm Sarah, I'm a social media manager, I can help manage your Instagram, you want to tell that dream client how you're going to help them. So for example, it could be, I help you save time by getting you clients on Instagram. Whatever that bold claim is, whatever you do to help your dream clients in their business, make sure that homepage tells them right away. Next, your about section. Who are you? Having a face to either your brand, your agency, whatever that may look like for your business structure, let them know who you are or who your business is. So really go into details about why you got started, why you want to help them, why you think you would be a great fit. All of this can work whether you're a personal brand, a freelancer, an agency. Just make sure to frame it so that they know who they would be working with, and make sure it sounds like you. Use your branding here and really let your voice flow through this, because that's going to help them feel more trusting and comfortable right from the very beginning of just reading your about page. So next, I'm going to talk about your services page or section. So let them know exactly what you can do. So if you offer only custom packages or very specialized services, you can have those listed right on here. Or you can let them know that you want to do a meeting and build that custom package. But I do recommend still listing out a few of those services. This really helps you to save some time because you know what they're looking for. They hopefully know what they're looking for, and you can start that conversation. You might still have some people sitting down and wanting to do introduction meetings who don't really know what they're looking for yet, and that's where you can guide them. But let's try and save some time right at the beginning and list out your services, whether that's a whole page for your services or if you wanted to just have them in a separate section. We are going to talk a little bit later in this video about whether to include your prices here or not, but just for the base, the essentials for what you need here, make sure to have some sort of section or information about how exactly you can help your dream client. Next is the contact section. If they've found your website, they've made it there, they're ready to start working together, they have to somehow be able to get a hold of you. Whether you want them to call you, text you, email you, fill out a form, that is up to you. Make it the easiest for you and for your dream client to get in touch. The easier it is, the more likely they are to move that relationship to the next level and to continue that contact. So make sure your contact information is easy to find, it's clear, and it's also easy for the client to use. Make sure it's clickable or accessible for whoever they want to use it. So that is the 4 essentials. Really, that's all you need on your website, and you can launch it. Some of these other things I'm going to talk about are a little bit, you could consider them a little bit of extras, even though I still recommend them. But if all you have time for right now is to get these 4 essentials up on your website to launch it, do it. Amazing. That's perfect. You can launch. If you have the time and you want to start adding a few other things to your website to make it better for you and your dream client, let's continue on. So as promised, I said we would talk a little bit about should you include your pricing on your website. This is content we've done before in our blogs, and we cover this quite a bit in the Rising Social Media Managers membership because it was something I struggled with for a long time, and I went back and forth on it. Did I want to let potential clients know my pricing right away, or did I want to sit down with them first and create that custom plan? And honestly, when I thought about starting to put my prices on my website a few years ago, I had a little bit of that imposter syndrome of, do I really want to list my prices and have my competition and other people know what they are? What if they're too high? What if they're not high enough? I've done a lot of work to make sure that I'm very confident in what we do and how we price it. So now it's not as much of an issue, but we still do offer custom pricing. So what I recommend in that, and what we've done for a long time, is list a starting at price. And that just lets those dream and potential clients know what they can expect working with you, what they can expect financially working with you. Yes, you could look at it as, oh, that might scare them away and I really want to sell them over in that meeting. But you could also look at it to say that, you know what, I'm saving time because I'm not going to have a bunch of meetings with people who aren't qualified to work with me. So there is really a big debate here as to what you could do. And I think it truly is for you. It depends on what you want to do and what you feel like is best for you and your business. But let's kind of run through some of those pros and cons. Pros. It sets the stage right at the beginning. They know what they're getting for approximately how much they're getting it for, what's included, what their investment will be, whether that's monthly, weekly, yearly, etc. It gives them a nice, clear idea of what to expect. And the nice thing about that is it also builds trust right from the beginning because you're being very transparent about your pricing and your services right in the public and open on your website. Once you have that information up there, they'll know. And honestly, your dream clients usually aren't too concerned about the price because you are the right fit for them, you are the right person, or your business is that right fit or business. But it also does help to qualify them. So that's some of the pros. It's really nice for them to see, it helps to build trust, and it's outlined right there on the website. Next is some of the cons. It could scare away some people. Maybe they do actually have that budget, but seeing that number there first without actually understanding your expertise could scare them away. It could also make it feel like they aren't the right fit because they haven't done that introduction, and maybe it's not the fit right now, but it could be later on, and you would prefer to have that face-to-face interaction first to really establish that relationship. So please look at both sides of it, and don't be afraid to test here. You can put them up for a little bit and see how it goes, or you can choose to not put them up yet and see if maybe you aren't getting the right kind of meetings coming through. Try both if you would like, and then you can decide what to do moving forward. My personal preference is to have at least a starting at rate so that everyone knows going into it what they can expect. And as always, we have some other information on that. I'll reference down the blog post for which one you can go and look at if you would like to do some further reading on that, or you can reach out and we can have a discussion about what would work best for you and your business. All right, let's continue with some more nice to haves on your websites, but again, not essentials. So, client testimonials and social proof. If you are brand new, congratulations, you just decided to be a social media manager, you might not have these yet. As you start to build them, absolutely add them to your website. If you do already have testimonials, it's really great to put those on your website so that your potential and dream clients can see those amazing words that other clients are saying about you. If you don't have this yet and you are brand new, what you can also do is use some of your own content here. Maybe it's friends and family, people that have seen the work that you do. That is a great starting point that you can expand as your business grows and as you get more testimonials and reviews. But I do think it's important to include somewhere so that people know kind of what other people had experienced with you to build that trust even further. So next is your portfolio of work, examples, experience, your skills, etc. So another piece of content we've talked about here before is whether you actually need a portfolio like everyone else recommends online, or if you're okay without one. Personally, I think having this on your website could replace the portfolio, because quite often versus sending a portfolio, you're sending a custom package or a custom strategy to that potential client. So your portfolio could live on your website. Your portfolio here will include kind of your background, skills, and what you have done. If you've worked with clients, you can show their transformations of their feeds, some captions that you worked on, some results that you got them. If you are brand new to this, you can showcase your own. Showcase how you grew your own social media, how you transformed your own feed or your own analytics. Don't be afraid to use your own here if you don't have any client information to put in yet. And as always, if you are sharing client logos, information, make sure to ask them first just to make sure you have the permission to put that on your website. Next is something really important, and I think it could potentially fall up with those first 4 essentials, but it can come later if you really just need to get your website up. You should make sure that your website is mobile accessible. So make sure that someone can use it when they're on their phone. More often than not now, people are visiting websites from their phone versus their laptop or their computer. So when you're building your website, most platforms like Wix, Squarespace, etc., they have an area where you can switch the view of what your website looks like on your computer versus a tablet versus your phone. Make sure to look there closely to see if all the images are formatted correctly, that the text isn't being cut off, the buttons work. Make sure it looks as it should, no matter what device they're on. Once you've published it, also do another look here from your phone, from your tablet, from your computer, that all the buttons work, nothing is cut off, and all the text is visible, so that your client, regardless of what platform they visit your website on, they have a positive experience. Next is really not necessarily about what to put on your website, but how to do this. This is a lot of work, it seems like, but really you can simplify it and make it work for you. Our main goal right now is just to get something up that looks good, has correct grammar, has all your information, and is easy to find so that your dream clients can start finding you and continuing on that relationship. What you don't want to do here is look at all of the options, get overwhelmed, and stop. I understand I was that person, I was that social media manager, but I really want you to take this forward and to start working through your website and making sure that your dream clients can find you. You can build this website on so many different platforms. There's Squarespace, there's Wix, WordPress, I think Weebly, GoDaddy has one, and you can even use Canva. I will link one of our templates here. We have a social media manager website template you can use. It's Canva, so you just go in and drag and drop your information, update the colors and pictures so that it matches your branding, and you're ready to publish your website. You can publish it using just their link if you want to, but I do recommend getting your own domain. You can use sites like GoDaddy to purchase your domain so that your link is yours and it looks a little bit more professional. I go over so many more of these details on our social media. I also talk about all of this in the Rising Social Media Managers membership. So if you have any questions about that, please let me know. If you're ever feeling overwhelmed, send me a message on Instagram. Let's talk through this. We can make sure that you can get your website up right away so you can start getting new dream clients and working with more people as a social media manager. So if you have any questions, let me know, and I hope you learn lots.